Beautiful people, this is Keck with Builderall, your information products, digital marketing training, and support specialist. Welcome to Motivation Monday. You've made it. Congratulations. Today is Monday. We're going to take this opportunity to get our mindset straight for success in business and life. So I am happy you're with me. Allow me this opportunity to go ahead and pull up and refresh our Facebook page so I can pull the chat up and keep up with you guys. Perfect. That's good. And yes, okay, I got the chat. Welcome, welcome. Again, this is Keck with Builderall, your information products, digital marketing training, and support specialist. Today, we're going to do a little Motivation Monday, as we do often on Mondays, and we're going to talk about the happiness equation. The happiness equation. Okay, I see some people are joining us. Welcome, Mark. Cue the bird. There's Mr. Rooster. Our cue to rise and grind. Grab your cup of joe or whatever it is that's going to make you go, and let's get a little Builderall training in. Today, it's going to be some motivation. All right, you guys, so I'm going to share something with you called The Happiness Equation. It's a book, so let me go ahead and pull it up here. All right, let me share my screen, and we'll get right into this. We'll share this one. Okay, that looks right. No, that's what we want right there. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and pull up our presentation here, if I can find it. All right, no worries. I'll just pull it up from here. There it is. Okay, so here we are. This book is called The Happiness Equation, written by Neil. All right, let me get this name right. Oh, I was just practicing it. I lost it. Parisha. Neil Parisha. That's what it is. So The Happiness Equation by Neil Parisha. Want nothing plus do nothing equals have everything. Okay, that sounds good. Hey, good morning, Ray. Welcome, Don. Grand Rising, Trevor. The gang's all here. I'm glad you guys are with me. All right, so we're going to get into this happiness equation here. And I'll go ahead and just start with a quote from the book right here. So don't you think every college, university, and library would be full of courses and advice on how to become happier? On how we can make decisions that spur ourselves into positive action every day. When I asked the hospitality CEO if he knew a book, model, or website that actually helped people navigate and simplify their most challenging decisions so that they live with contentment, freedom, and happiness, he said, that book doesn't exist. I would like to be it would be like asking every high-powered executive, successful person, and positive leader to distill all the personal mental models they've created over their lives into one book. Nobody has ever done it. I know this is true because I've been searching for a practical book with real frameworks on leading myself to happiness for years. I wanted something beyond stories about generals, parables about penguins, and research studies with data pointing any which way. I wanted real, I wanted practical, I wanted clear, I wanted an action book that I could use every day. This is that book. Ooh, that's a pretty exciting lead in, right? So I love how he starts. Don't you think that every college and university would be full of courses on how to become happier? Well, you'd think so, but unfortunately, our compass has been shifted a little bit where happiness isn't really people's concern anymore. It's money and other things, but to recalibrate and see it's really happiness that we need to have our north pointed to. Okay, so we're going to look at and unpack these big ideas here. First one is the big seven. That's 7 ways to boost your happiness. Waking up with Iki Guy. It's not what you think, but it's really important. Add an hour to your day. Here's how. Tip from the great physicist, just do it. And it's Saturday AM. What do you do? Some advice. Don't take it. Sylvester, welcome from South Africa. South Africa in the house. Glad you're with us. Okay, so let's go down here and we'll talk about these big 7 first. The big 7 ways to train your brain to be happy. Positive psychology is a new and growing field. I've sifted through hundreds of studies to find the big 7 ways to train your brain to be happy. Many of these studies have been discussed in journals, conferences, keynotes, and research reports, but I brought them together here for you. If you do any of these 7 things for 2 straight weeks, you will feel happier. Well, that's a nice promise, huh? But you got to do it for 2 straight weeks at least. So here we go. The big 7. 3 walks plus the 20-minute replay plus random acts of kindness plus a complete unplug plus hit flow plus 2-minute meditations plus 5 gratitudes. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Voiko, welcome, my friend. Glad you're with us. Okay, so let's take a look at these, okay? And let's see what it says here. A little quote from Neil. The problem isn't that we have negative thoughts in our brain. The problem is we think we shouldn't have negative thoughts, right? They're just going to happen. Don't think there's something wrong with it. These 7 things are going to give us a proactive way to try to be more happy. Okay, it's happiness, great work, success, not great work, success, happiness. So it's kind of backwards. We think, oh, if we could just do some great work, then we'd be happy. But he's saying, no, it goes the other way around here. So here's the 7. 1 is 3 walks. Exercise is as effective as Zoloft in reducing depression. That I find incredible and cool. Even just 3 brisk walks can do the trick. Remember that not exercising is like taking a depressant and getting out there. So get out there and move your body. So this is really important. There have been studies on this. Just a little exercise, just a brief walk, maybe 3 times a day, a brisk walk. Doesn't have to be 20 minutes 3 times a day. It could be 5 minutes. Just get out there and move, and it is so good. It's just as effective as Zoloft, which is an SSRI. So good for depression, good for mood. Number 2 is the 20-minute replay. Writing for 20 minutes about a positive experience is a great way to boost your happiness. Scientists call this savoring. Groove on the good stuff. Yes, savoring. So we talk sometimes about focus and about how when we're writing or journaling, it's a great way to hack our focus because we're thinking about it and then kinesthetically we're writing it and we're looking at it visually. So it's a good way to really get those things deep in us. And if we spend 20 minutes writing about a positive experience, it will fluff up and boost that positive experience. So we'll have a better, longer lasting effect on our happiness. Number 3, random acts of kindness. Did you know that the fastest, most reliable way to boost your mood is to do something nice for someone else? You guys probably knew this, right? You know it every time right after you do it. So find ways to do something nice, to do a random act of kindness. That's why they say giving is better than receiving, because when you give, you just have this feeling, this uplifting, happy feeling. And that's the fastest, most reliable way to boost your mood. So check that out. Random acts of kindness. Number 4, a complete unplug. We've got to make waves, fully on and fully off. Repeat, you're training your recovery as much as your on phases. Are you training your recovery as much as your on phases? Remember that it's not that we work too hard, but that we don't recover enough. So this idea of waves, a big wave of work hard, and then it goes down, and then it's a big wave of rest hard, of unplugging hard. So this idea of, we all know about being fully on, but we've got to also be fully off if we want to be happy. Okay, so we've got to train our recovery. So our recovery mode, when we unplug, has to be just as tight, our recovery game, as does our work game. Okay, so a complete unplug. Number 5 for the 7 ways to boost happiness is hit flow. Boy, I can't say this guy's names. Mihaly tells us that the optimal state of the human experience is found when we are engaged in activities that stretch us, such as that the challenges match our skill. Too much challenge and we get anxiety. Too little and we get boredom. The right match is what we call flow. So flow is when we get in the flow where we're challenged, but not too challenged to where we're going to turn on anxiety, but we're challenged enough where it's not boring, right? So that's what we call the flow. You want to find your flow and hit it, get in it, find it, recognize it, become familiar with it, and try to go back to it often. Number 6, 2-minute meditations. Meditation is huge. As we discuss in Meditation 101, you don't need to be a levitating monk in the Himalayas to experience significant benefits. Even just a couple minutes a day keeps the gremlins away. Yes, and if meditation is foreign to you, it's probably not what you think. It's just take a break. Okay, I love this 2-minute meditations. Just take a break to completely unplug, okay, and just clear your mind for 2 minutes. Just try to do some deep breathing exercises and just observe the thoughts in your mind and just be non-attached to them. Just do that for 2 minutes a day and you'll get the benefits. You don't have to be a monk on the Himalayas. I love that. Okay, number 7, the last of these 7 things to help us be more happy is the 5 gratitudes. As Neil says, if you can be happy with the simple things, then it will be simple to be happy. Find things to be grateful for and focus on them. What are you grateful for today? So try to find just 5 simple things you can be grateful for, like coffee. I'm grateful for coffee. I think Mark Twain once was quoted as saying, how bad can it be as long as we've got coffee, right? So, you get up in the morning, you say, I'm so thankful to have coffee, and I can be happy about that. So the idea of finding happiness in simple things, if you can do that, it will be more simple for you to be more happy. Okay, so I love these 7. I thought about doing the whole Motivation Monday just on these 7, but I wanted to give you the rest of the book too. All right, so let's move into the next big idea there now, and it's called waking up with an Iki Guy, the good kind. Okay, so while we think of retirement as the golden age of putting greens, cottage decks, and staring at clouds, guess what they call retirement in Okinawa? They don't. They don't even have a word for retirement in Okinawa. Literally nothing in their language describes the concept of stopping work completely. Instead, they have a word called ikagi, which we pronounce icky, okay, the Iki Guy. So Iki, which roughly means the reason you wake up in the morning. You can think of it as the thing that drives you the most. So your Iki Guy is what drives you. In Okinawa, there's a 102-year-old karate master whose Iki is to carry forth his martial art. The 100-year-old fisherman whose Iki is to feed his family, and a 102-year-old woman whose Iki is to hold her great-great-great-granddaughter. So this Iki is like your purpose. So just a little context here. Okinawans are basically the longest living people on the planet. They live an average of 7 healthy years longer than Americans and have the most people over 100 years old, and they don't even have a word for retirement. So wake up with your Iki Guy. Wake up with your purpose, what it is, why you get out of bed. It's not just about, making enough money so you can quit your life. It's about what in your life are you doing? What inspires you in your life? I see a bunch of stuff in the chat, you guys. I will not neglect you. When I get through this, I'll check it out. So let's go into the next big idea, is how to add an hour to your day. Sign me up for that. I had worked with Roger only 3 months when I learned how to add an hour to the day with only one small change. How? Block access. Protect your brain. Guard it. Remove all entry points to your brain except a single one you can control. In addition to Roger's approach to email, I learned later that he didn't have a desk phone, a personal email address, or any social media accounts. Fuel your brain and let it run wild while removing access points. Close the door and lock the windows, but answer the bell. What's the bell? It's your number 1 top priority. What was Roger's bell? Emails from the chairman of the board and his family. Not voicemails, not texts, not anything else. Have you ever shopped a small town convenience store where they had that little bell on the counter? They're busy stocking the shelves. They're in back. They're unpacking boxes, and they're busy placing orders. But when you ring that little bell, it means close the doors, lock the windows, and answer the bell. Let your brain produce great work. Savor space, empower your biggest ideas, most passionate efforts, and greatest accomplishments. So this idea of the bell, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of bells going on in our world, right? Especially in the digital age, right? This thing right here for me, probably about every 40 seconds on average. I don't know. It's bing, bing, bing. I'm on three group chats for work and several other stuff, emails. So the idea here with the bell is you have to take all those other distractions, all those other things vying for your attention, push them out, right? And have that one bell. What's most important? Ding, ding. And you choose what that bell is. Okay. You don't live a reactive life where, oh, somebody texts me. That means I have to text them right back. Somebody's calling me. I have to answer the phone. No, the phone works for you. Okay. Don't feel like you're a slave to the phone and other people and their desires to grab your time. Take control of your time. Find what your bell is, your one priority, and allow your mind to shut off all other access points except for that bell and focus and work hard. It sounds a lot like deep work that we talk about from another great book from Cal Newport, Deep Work. So this is good. A little quote here. By cutting off access to myself, I was able to choose what to focus on, aim my brain at that task, and then nail it. And the idea is when you do that, you gain time in your day. That's where we get that hour because you're not being distracted like the SOS, shiny object syndrome, always chasing the squirrels. Okay. All right. And let's see, is this not the last one? But the next one is a tip from the greatest physicist ever. What does the greatest physicist of all time say? First off, who was the greatest physicist of all time? I say Isaac Newton, in my opinion. Up there with Einstein. Why? Well, he discovered gravity, invented calculus, and built the telescope. Not bad. And he did believe in the do circle. Did he believe in the do circle? Yes, absolutely. He explained it the best in his first law of physics. An object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by a larger force. Put another way, start doing something, you'll continue. Why? Because motivation doesn't cause action. Action causes motivation. And this is the main tip from this idea here is that sometimes we think, oh, well, as soon as I get motivated, I'll have the fuel to do. No, the do circle goes the other way. The do circle is you start by doing it, okay? And then once it's in action, okay, how it says here, an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted upon by a larger force. So it's this do circle. Don't wait for motivation to start to do. Start with the doing, okay? And then that will lead to the motivation. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true and will boost your productivity and your happiness. Okay, and let's move down now to the next big idea, which is it's a question. Okay, so it's Nikola Tesla. Absolutely good one. So here's a question. It's Saturday a.m. Nothing's going on. What do you do? This is a question to ask yourself. What do you do on a Saturday morning when you have nothing to do? Ask yourself that one crucial question. Think about it for a second and answer it out loud. What do you do on a Saturday morning when you have nothing to do? Do you go to the gym? Do you record yourself playing guitar? Take whatever answer you have and then wildly brainstorm ways you can pursue opportunities that naturally spew from that passion. There will be hundreds. Love going to the gym, personal training maybe, coaching a baseball team, volunteering for a walking group, running a yoga studio, teaching phys ed, etc. Starting a supplements company. Lots of things you could do if your passion is going to the gym. Say you love recording yourself playing the guitar. How about then you could think about maybe teaching guitar online, editing music, learning to DJ, starting up an instrument company. One of the happiest people I met was a high school teacher who decided to start importing, selling, and teaching the ukulele. Your true self will be drawn to these ideas. They make you richer, stronger, and happier in your work life too. So this is a great little exercise is think about, okay, it's Saturday morning. I got nothing to do. What is it that I'd like to do? Okay, that's how you figure out kind of where's your passion. Okay, and now we're down to the last big idea here, and that is some advice. Don't take it, okay? Here's this quote on the side. Remember, advice reflects the advisor's thoughts, not your thoughts. And advice is important for a while. Watch out for cars, don't eat worms, and flush the toilet. Okay, that's all good advice. But happy people know when it's important to stop taking advice and start listening to yourself. Any cliche, quote, or piece of advice that resonates with you only confirms your mind to your mind something that you already know. Okay. Charles Varlet wrote back in 1872, when we ask advice, we're usually looking for an accomplice. That's why we like certain advice and we don't like other advice. It's the reason people read newspapers that conform to their own views as opposed to the ones whose views oppose them, are against them. So what's the single best piece of advice you'll ever take? Don't take advice. The answers are all inside you. Think deep and decide what's best. Go forth and be happy. Don't take any advice. Just remember, the advice is a reflection of the person who's giving advice, of their thoughts and not your thoughts. All right, let me just scroll up to the top here so I can do a quick review. The Happiness Equation by Neil Pasrichu. sorry, Neil. I know he's not watching, but I got his name all messed up here. Anyway, good stuff. I love these 7 big ideas, ways to boost your happiness here. And they're just little things, you know, take some walks, write about things that are positive, do random acts of kindness, completely unplug when it's time to unplug, hit that flow, that work groove where things are challenging but not too challenging. Do just some little meditations and find things to be grateful for. And then, of course, we have our Waking Up with Iki Guy. Wake up and high five your Iki Guy and say, this is my reason for getting out of bed. You need to find what that is. Add an hour to your day by pushing all the distractions out, and you decide what is that ding, ding, that important bell, the priorities in your life. Tip from the greatest physicist, Isaac Newton: things that are in motion stay in motion. So don't look to motivation before you start, and then you will find your motivation. And it's Saturday AM, you got nothing to do. What would you choose to do? Great way to find your passion. And take some advice. Don't take any advice. Okay, that's good. All right, you guys. Well, let me stop the screen share here and get rid of these things. Get rid of this thing here. And let me just check the chat here. A lot of stuff going on here. I'm glad you guys are with me. The happiness equation. Yes. Let's see. Thinking that we should not think about something is a negative thought. That's true. That's true. Reminds me of the chicken game I played yesterday. Let's see, important is what we have in our thoughts, as it is not important when we think yes or no. Enjoying ice cream is important. Yes, exactly. It's what we actually have. I like that. You are welcome. James Collin, that's funny. That is true. That is true. I'll not repeat it, but all men know that is the true reason for waking up in the morning. Let's see. Yes. Calculus during the plague. What did you do? Let's see. Nikola Tesla was a genius indeed. All right, good. Ray says, good stuff, Keck. I think I'll take your advice. Wait a minute. You guys, okay. Well, that's going to do it for Motivation Monday. Hopefully this helped get our minds set straight for success in business and in life today. Go forth and be happy, friends. That's my wish for you. I look forward to coming back with you tomorrow morning for some Builderall training. Until then, let's build it with Builderall. Ciao for now, friends. I'll see you tomorrow morning.